What's good, world? It's your boy TWiZ. Welcome to 5 Minutes of TWiZDOM. 5 minutes of tips and tricks to help grow your music brand. Now you're wondering why I have this hoodie on today. I just heard the Jesus is King album, so I'm getting my Kanye on, mellow with a hoodie, type vibe, or A Boogie with a hoodie, you know what I'm saying? I'm just playing y'all. Yeah, listen, lighten up, man. Just take a joke sometimes. You gotta learn to live life, right? So today's episode is gonna be about the business of how Kanye West just got back into the industry and a new platform that is kind of growing but doesn't really have a home about it. And we're gonna talk about it, what he did with his album, because a lot of people are wondering, how is he claiming he created a gospel album, but in the genre it's not claimed as a gospel album, it's claimed as hip-hop. Why is that? The industry considers gospel music more like your TD Jakes, the people who sing, BB Winans, those type of gospel artists. It isn't until of recent times where a lot of Christian rappers like Lecrae, Bizzle, Andy Mineo, those type of groups, Troupe, all those artists started coming out and they started creating, not only was this Christian music, but it was more positive hip hop. They didn't curse in their music. They didn't really have a genre for them because mainstream, as we listen, is very explicit. Even with the edited versions, they still promote the explicit versions of songs. So you have these group of people who sometimes talk about God, but sometimes just really just talk about life situation and issues that is coming up with just as good as bars, similar type beats as the mainstream, but they don't get any airplay like that because they don't curse. So the $1 million question is, how did Kanye West take his gospel album and put it underneath hip hop? Not only would it be wise for him to take advantage of the new created genre Christian rap, but also still put it in hip hop because a lot of his fans still follow him on those platforms. And to win for Kanye West, if you go that route, like, I've heard the album, it was straight, you know what I'm saying? I feel like he is still trying to find himself in this new music. Because when you start talking about gospel and stuff like that, especially when that hasn't been your thing, you haven't been focused on that, it's a hard thing to do to adjust to. It's a change in lifestyle. Of course, I have some tracks on there. Sealer is dope. God is good. Open on Sundays. I got some tracks that I found out is really dope. It is Kanye West, and I love how he uses some of the production, the singers and the choir. I always love that. Choir sounds great. I was wondering if he was going to do that kind of energy from the live shows that he's been doing, and he did that. And I thought that was pretty dope, but I still feel like, coming from the hip hop Kanye, it was a different flair. And I feel like once he gets comfortable in this new lane that he is, I believe the music will grow with him. But I do love it because it's opening a new door for other artists who may speak positive rap and don't curse, and it's just elevating that window that needs to be heard. Don't get it twisted, a lot of these artists are pretty dope, but they get no airtime because it's not the mainstream thing that they're selling to people. All that stuff that we think that's what we need to hear, but we really need to hear some of this stuff that they're talking about as positive and still got sound dope. Like, this is partly why I do music right now, because I can't complain about the situation and don't contribute by putting out dope music. Like, you could check out any of my music and it sounds like it's something that you hear on mainstream. And I like listening to artists who like that too, because when you listen to like mainstream music that talks about all that stuff, growing up and all that stuff, listen to all that, that's like the norm for you. So when I tried to transition over, it was really hard for me because it didn't sound like that 808 swamming, you know what I'm saying? I still love that stuff. There's artists out there who feel the same way and drop bars that ain't even talking about killing somebody or doing nothing like that, but some real life situations that everybody can relate to, you know what I'm saying? That type of stuff, and still has that instrumentals with an 808 swam. Like, come on. Why can't we get behind that and support that? That should be playing on the radio. Matter of fact, I was listening to Funk Master Flex riding in the car one day, and he played like 3-4 straight songs off that album. And I felt like The last time something that was close about that was spiritual and sounded like hip hop was when he did Jesus Walks. I feel like that was the perfect song because it had the borderline. It still talked about Jesus, but at the same time, it still had cursing in it. You feel what I'm saying? And a lot of people be like, that's a super no-no. That's, you know, but that song right there, that's what it took for everybody to play it. Remember when you heard Jesus Walks, it was everywhere. You played on even the pop stations, that song was on there. Because it is crazy. You have to curse to make that, you know, to make that point. And he straight up told you, talk about Jesus, my song won't get played. And the iconic moment of that's huge. That's huge because they played that on every station. And now because this one is just solely about that, you know, plays, and he's still getting plays, like, that's huge. Thank you. If you already subscribed, thank you for just watching and taking the time out. If you got any questions, shoot me an email, hit me up on Instagram. I'm all in, you know what I'm saying? Subscribe down to the channel below. If you haven't been following me on Instagram, it's at TWiZLman56. Make sure you check out the other podcast, 1201. Your boy's making some appearance. Shouts out to Solar Go Jay. You already know what it is. Doff Media, what's good? Always making sure your boy look good. Yeah, you know. It's been another episode of 5 Minutes of TWiZDOM. It's your boy TWiZ.